What's up everyone, Nostalgia95 is back after it was maybe a month or something. I'm really sorry. As you guys know, a lot has been going on in my life. I'm still surprised, but I finally finished my university career, meaning that I now have a master's degree in international relations and diplomacy. This brings us to our first major problem. I need to go for job hunting, and the first thing they're going to ask you is, do you have experience? You try to get a job, but you need experience, but you don't have the experience, so you cannot have a job. It's really like messed up. I began searching yesterday, I would say, and the proclamation where I got my degree was, I think, 4 days ago. So I did not really get rest because my family organized a surprise party for me. It was amazing. There was a cake. I didn't even get to eat the cake, and it's just an honor to see your parents be proud of you and your loved ones, your friends, your family, all of that. It's really amazing. Now, about a month ago, I posted in the Nostalgia95 community page a post about, it's 10,000 subscribers, so ask me whatever you want. So what I'm going to do now is reply to some of these comments, and after that I'm going to explain to you the new updates I brought to this channel, and after that we can get back to making regular videos, one video a week or maybe even more. Okay, so I'll start with Andres Marrero, who asked, so what do you have planned on your undoubtedly long list of potential projects? And Black Lion 45 continued by saying, good question, I would like to add something to it. What are your plans for the future of the channel? Any new types of videos or maybe additional topics besides Digimon? Looking forward to what is gonna come. I've planned a lot. I should maybe make a separate video where I can explain everything in details, because I don't want to, waste too much of your time. So I think that one of my biggest projects is that I'm going to try whatever I can to become financially independent. I think we've learned a lot this year with COVID. Many people lost their jobs, and that goes along with many other consequences. Those people who lost their jobs might have been, parents, which means they had children in their homes. And it's very difficult to combine everything when you lost your job and you have no income. So I will try to work my way to become financially independent. That's maybe going to be the biggest project I have. And so what I'm doing now is learning about how to start a business maybe, or how to invest. This is like one moment, COVID, but I'm sure there are going to be other pandemics. So I guess we're warned. Another project is obviously going to be this channel here. I am definitely going to continue with Digimon because there's still so much we need to explore. There's still, new content coming every day from the Digimon developers. So I'm obviously going to cover those, and I'm going to keep working on the Digimon franchise and hopefully make it more popular. And for that, I even reorganized my channel, which I will explain in a moment, in order to be more attractive to newcomers mostly. Older fans will eventually come. Digimon does have a big fan base, but we'll need to make sure to attract everyone. So I'm mostly focused on the newcomers. I'm trying to make everything more accessible, more interesting for them to come and to watch Digimon again or watch Digimon for the first time. So we're going to work on that, and I will need your help, because ultimately we are forming one community, and it's always very pleasing for someone to find him or herself in a new community where everyone is very open to their opinions. Another project would be to, I have friends spread around the world, may be in China, may be in America, may be in Africa, all that, and I would like to visit them. If I want to see them, at least as quick as I want to, I'll need to make sure that I can work on myself and always make sure that I have an income. So that's that. I have other projects. I have many projects. So you see my master's degree. I'm looking for a job, and I'm hoping that that job is going to give me access to a bigger network, to new resources, and hopefully I could continue my work and become like a policy maker or a policy influencer in the least. I don't know if you guys are religious or not, but we all need to give meaning to our life, and my meaning is essentially to help. If it's possible to help people, to help a big group of people, because I don't want to just settle to like individuals, but it needs to be like a group. That's what I'm going for. I want to help people in one way or another. Sometimes me and my mom, we watch television and we watch documentaries about people living abroad, people living in remote places where they have to travel miles in order to get to schools. And usually these people walking are just little children, and on the road, sometimes the road isn't well built and you can find snakes or dangerous animals over there. And every time I watch them, I feel connected to these individuals. I want to reach out for them, and I'd like to do something in that regard. Let's jump to another question. Ryuzaki Koki wrote the following: how many languages do you speak? I would say I master 3 languages, both in a working proficiency and in a speaking and writing. So it's English, it's Dutch, and it's French. But I have, let me say, limited knowledge of other languages like Lingala, which is an African language, limited knowledge of German from Germany, and I took 2 books about Japanese and about Spanish. I'm going to try and like take my time to learn these languages. I don't need to master them, but it would be fun if I could in the least interact with a few people. So it's basically going to come up to about, let me see, 5, 6, if my math is still working well, languages, 5 to 6 languages that I know a little bit of, and I'm going to work on them to make it fluent. That way I could connect with others, and I think that that's the most important. It's always very pleasing when you have someone talking to you with your language. It's like another level of connecting, of bonding, and so we're going to go for that. Dylan Price wrote a very interesting question. What type of music are you into? Preferably like your top 5 bands, please. Keep up the great content. Alright, so my music taste is very diverse, because if you were to take my phone and you listen to the music I have here, you'll find out that it's very diverse. It can go from dubstep, which can be very interesting. It can go to rock even. It can go to hip hop. It can go to lounge. It can go to chill out. Chill out I think I like the most, along with drum and bass. And in drum and bass, you need to know there are various forms of drum and bass. There's like jungle drum and bass. There's intelligent drum and bass. And I would say intelligent drum and bass, also known as atmospheric drum and bass, is probably what I like most. So it basically comes down to that. If I would say who are my favorite artists, Mocha is one, who does mostly lounge music. Toki Monster, who is a Korean artist, basically, who lives in the US. But there are many. Like if I were to show you my laptop, there are many songs that I enjoy. And what I like about my taste, I usually give priority to those artists who are not known or less known, and in YouTube you'll find many of those artists. Now, to not take too much of your time, I'm just going to give you another update on the channel. Now, as you've seen at the start of the video, we changed the intro. I realized that many people were very curious to my face and know like who's the face behind the voice. That way you know who I am. So I changed the intro. I also changed the intro of the Digi News series on the channel. So that's also changed. I made a Digimon page on Instagram, Digimon_Empire. There you go. That Instagram page is basically about Digimon, obviously, but I use it as my diary because I do read many of your comments, and some of them are so interesting that I take a screenshot and I keep it on my phone. The problem is my phone is very limited in space, and so at some given point you can have so many screenshots that you can't add any more screenshots. So I decided to just put them in Instagram, and that way at the moment I have the time, I'm simply going to scroll and I'm going to like make a video out of it. In at least you know that I read your comments and I really take them into account. Also, I made that Instagram page because you see, when I do those Digimon research before I release the video, I always stumble upon something very interesting. It's either like a new like fan art about a possible Digifusion of one Digimon with the other. It's very interesting, and when I see it, I always want to make a video out of it, but I can't because I'm working on another video. So I'm also going to take screenshots out of them. Obviously you'll see the name of the author, and I put that on my Instagram page. That way, whenever we get the time, we can just pick one, talk about it in future videos. Okay, I also made a Twitter account. It's mostly to like follow those Digimon other Digimon Twitter accounts. That way we know for sure that we are up to date. I made a Discord, and it's still new for me, but there's a link I will put in the description box, or maybe I'll pin it, we'll see. And Discord is basically this program where you can like all just come together, and if you feel like talking, you talk, and if I'm there, I can talk. So it's basically come down to that. And I want you guys to like join the group, and if there's something new, if you feel like talking about something related to Digimon, just let loose and talk about it. You'll find the Discord link or name at the end of the video. Also changed my outro, that way you can always clearly see what social media platforms I use. Some of you asked me to make like a PayPal account because you wanted to contribute financially, but just one time, and I respect that. So I made a PayPal account. There's also still Patreon for those who are there. And by the way, for those who are still supporting me on Patreon, I appreciate it. And again, I'm really sorry that I did not post regularly in the last month, I would say. But you need to understand that I really am in this transaction period, because I feel like whenever you go to school, you're still somewhat like a child. And now I'm really making this transaction to the adult life, because things are really going to get serious. We're going to work, we're going to take care of ourselves, we're going to like start big things. So it basically comes down to that. Starting from now on, we're going to get back to regular schedule. We're going to make more videos. It's going to be interesting, I promise you. And we are going to make sure that our group grows bigger and bigger and bigger. I think that's the nicest. So if you're new, make sure to subscribe.